Yeah, so what an insurance broker does, or agent, it's the same thing. Broker just, I don't know, people call themselves brokers sometimes. Brokers write directly with insurance companies. Okay. So a lot of times on a yacht, most carriers, you cannot go direct to the insurance company because it's a specialist market, because everyone's doing something different. Carriers like to have a broker involved so the broker can actually place the risk correctly. And it also adds a level of protection for you, the owner. That way, there could be a conflict of interest. If the insurance company is accepting your risk directly, they have their best interests, right? I mean, they want to cover you correctly, but they may not have your best interest. They may actually place you with a weaker policy and you just took it. So what a broker does is we write directly with multiple carriers. And depending on you and your boat and your navigation, a broker will then speak with you, help you to understand things you may not understand what you really need, understand what your future plans might be. And then from there, the broker will gather information, ask you questions, or get a application form. And then a good broker will read your application form before they just flick it
Pass
to
it
the
on.
insurance companies. Yeah, because a lot of time we see people will we'll get people will say, I've never owned a boat before. The application says experience. People say no experience. Like, okay. So if we send that to the insurance company, they're going to say no. So usually we'll just call our client and we'll say, well, you see you have no experience. Have you been on any boats? Have you driven any boats? Oh, yeah, yeah. I've driven boats all my life. We use charter boats and things like that. And I'll say, well, you said you put no experience. And they'll say, well, we thought that meant ownership. And that's really important. A good broker will help you to not trip yourself up with an insurance company. And then from there, we'll speak with carriers, and the carriers will quote to us. We review the quotes, make sure they're correct coverage limits you need, and then we'll send you quotes, send the boat owner or buyer the quotes, and then have a discussion. you know Here are the options, here's ways we can change the premium, or here's some coverages you.
How long would you say it takes for you to get all the information you need and verify with a boat owner or boat buyer to presenting quotes and having options on the table? Like a few days, a couple weeks? How long does that take?
No, a few days.
Okay.
It's once we get all the information and get it correct, and make sure we really understand what the boat owner needs. It takes 48 hours to hear back from carriers. Then we sort of you know discuss the quotes with the client, and you know explain, yeah, this quote is cheaper, but here are the coverages you might be sacrificing, and here's the things to know. And so it's an involved process. I mean, we probably spend like 3 or 4 hours minimum on the phone total before a policy is placed. I mean, some clients spend like days, which is okay. But yeah, and then also after you place coverage, it doesn't just end there. It's like, I mean, we probably talk to each client at least maybe 2 or 3 times a year at minimum. Um, yeah, and one thing I'd like to point out, I think it's really, really important for people to know this, because a lot of people think that a broker can help you with a claim, and this is something I like to disclose to my clients. I might be a really nice guy, and I might be really able to help you place coverage, but if you have a claim, you are going to deal with the insurance company. A lot of people think, "Oh, Hugo is great. Hugo is going to pay our claim," and it's not that way. I mean, what I can do is talk to you and help you understand how this claim might go, and we can kind of give the carrier a kick if they're dragging their feet. Um, but what a broker does is make sure your coverage is correct off the bat, up front, and so that when you do have a claim, that firstly, before you even had the claim, you really understand, where is this carrier going to get you? What can this carrier use to deny coverage, right? And I love to highlight these things to my clients, because it means that when they have a claim, and they're going to get the claim paid. And it sometimes I can be a pain, right? People think, oh, Hugo wants us to do all these things, and we a good broker will tell you things you don't want to hear, so that when the claim happens, you did those things so that the claim is smooth. But when you have a claim, you work directly with the insurance company.
Okay, that's very important to clarify for sure.